We're going to begin with a prayer for the hostages, our brothers and sisters in Israel, Jews around the world. So please, I'm going to begin with a psalm. Everyone's going to answer Amen at the end, and then we're going to do the Shema. Shir HaMa'alot LeDavid, a song of ascent by David. I was happy when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. Our feet were standing within your gates, O Jerusalem. Jerusalem that is built like a city in which all Israel is united together. For there the tribes went up, the tribes of God, as a joint upon Israel, to offer praise to the name of the Lord. For there stood the seats of justice, the thrones of the house of David. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you have peace. May there be peace within your walls, serenity within your mansions. For the sake of my brethren and friends, I ask that there be peace within you. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I seek your well-being. Amen.
Amen.
Please join us. The ultimate protection that we can do, we're not all able to fight like Yaron. We don't have the training skills and so on, but we're able to pray together. So we're going to say the Shema together. If you don't know the words, you can close your eyes. We're all going to, for the first verse, close our eyes with our right hand and say the Shema, the prayer, the ultimate Jewish prayer together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta eis Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol modecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela. Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shiftecha v'beisecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shachtecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam lo'os al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'v'saftam al mizuzot beisecha. As I know I'll forget at the end with the questions and answers and so on, there's these green books in the back that have unbelievable psalms and prayer that you can do on a daily basis for Israel. If you didn't receive one yet, on your way out, please take one of these green books and try to add it to your daily schedule. We're now going to ask our Kohen to give us the priestly blessings, not only to bless us, but to bless the Jewish people around the entire world. I'm going to ask everyone, if possible, in your seats, to just rise a drop for the priestly blessings.
V'daber Adonai el Moshe le'emor, daber el Haron ve'al b'nei lemor, ko Tvirchu et b'nei Yisrael amor lehem. Yivarech et b'nei Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha.
Amen.
V'hei Yo'er Adonai panecha alev panav v'elecha v'kunecha.
Amen.
Yoseh et Yoseh Adonai lepanam elecha. Shem Lecha Shalom.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you to our Kohen. You may be seated. Tony's going to present something from our community. What? At the end? Okay. Please give your attention to your own. Thank you.
Good evening. You're good soldiers. Well, I'm really excited to be here. I have to tell you that when I was on my way from Vancouver here, before I landed, I just saw, for the first time here in New Mexico, and I saw this desert. I was thinking to myself, how far this exile, like 2,000 years ago, took all of the Jewish people from Israel. It's amazing. And you know, even in the Torah, there is a place where Yosef going to look for his brother, and he said, someone met him in the way. He said, where are you going to? He said, I'm looking for my brothers. They're far away. And that's exactly what I felt. So thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. It's an amazing place. Actually, everywhere now in the world for me is an amazing place after 120 days in Gaza.
We thank you.
Thank you. But,
A little closer to your mouth.
okay. But before I will introduce myself, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, just before I came here, as I told you, I finished 120 days in Israel, and I have 2 weeks. I've been 2 weeks at home, and after 2 weeks, I came here for 2 more weeks. And then my commander, he asked me to do something. He told me, listen, before you're going to the United States, if you can please do me, I need something for you. I said, what do you need? Well, if you can just, in one paper, just summarize 7 October from your point of view. And I was thinking, and I asked him a question. I asked him, did you ever be in Disney with your kids? So yeah, I did. Can you ask one of your kids to summarize one day of Disney in one paper? He said, no, I can't. So I asked him, how do you think that I can summarize one day in hell in one paper? I can't do it. I said, okay, try to do something. So I didn't make this presentation before I came here. I tried just to deny and to look for the last moment, because for me to start and to think about 120 days from 7 October, it was a journey that I have to go through, because I didn't think about it. I was just working like a machine for 120 days. And I usually, for me, like United States, and I'm doing that a lot. I don't like these long flights, especially when it's loud, because I know in Ilan everybody is so loud and it's not quiet like Berta. So I was sitting in my at my seat in the airplane, and I started to write. So I took my iPad and I started thinking what I want to talk about. And before I finished one paper, the airplane landed. And I said, how can it be? How can it be that these flights took so quick? Usually it's like, I feel like it's so much time, like it's more than 10 hours. And that's because I was so focused and trying to elaborate everything and just think about everything. I didn't even felt like this flight. It's like I just felt that I'm sitting, start to write, and then it's flight over. One of the other things I was thinking about during the flight when I was starting to write, that I couldn't believe when I started to thinking about it every day, that I actually survived this, because I was in so many places and so many times I was so close to die. Beginning October 7, you know what, until the last day before I came. Even 2 days before I came here, one of the battalion commander in Israel unfortunately died. And my division commander called me just 2 days before I took the flight. And he asked me to come back to the division and to take his place. And I said, of course. And on the way back to the base, and I was just texting to the Chabad woman that has invited me, but I'm not going to come because I'm going back to the military. He canceled it and he said that they are going to send all of this battalion back home, so there are no need. One more thing. I started my tour in Orlando for some private meetings. So I took a hotel not so far away from Beit Chabad, because I landed on Thursday and I wanted to pray in Shabbat. And then in Shabbat I walked to the synagogue. I went in. Nobody knows who I am, because I didn't like. Nobody asked me to talk there. I had some meetings in Disney. I'm consulting for some companies in the United States. I'm doing right now my PhD in psychology of organization, and I'm working for Starbucks and Costco and Disney and some other companies. So I walked to the synagogue. I get in, and people start to look at me and ask me, who are you, where you come from? And I understood that I'm an officer from the IDF. So the rabbi called me and asked me if you can come and read in the Torah. This is a very big privilege. So I said, of course, no problem. So I went, I read the Torah, and after I finished, I asked him, can I make a special bless? There is a place that Birkat HaGomel, this is a blessing that you say if your life saved and you're in very, very big danger. He said, of course, the officer from Gaza, come here and say the bless. And I said the bless. And everybody said amen, and the rabbi stayed in front of all of the crowd and asked, did you say the bless because your life saved in Gaza? And I said, no, Rabbi, because it was my first time flying with Spirit. Second, they didn't charge me for the overweight. So this is one more reason when flying with Spirit to say the Birkat HaGomel. So, my name is Yaron Buskila. I'm Lieutenant Colonel in the IDF. I served for 24 years in the IDF. I started in an elite unit. I was in an undercover unit as well. I was an operation officer, special operation officer for all of the special missions in Israel, and I was charged for all of the elite units in the IDF and some other units, except of the IDF. I was a battalion commander and a second commanding brigade, and I was the operation officer of the Judah and Samaria division. And after I retired, they asked me what do I want to do, because usually the officers staying in the army just with the reserve unit. And I said, I'm living not so far away from Gaza Strip, like 25 minutes from the north of the Gaza Strip, so maybe I'll go and be the operation officer of the Gaza division. And that's what I'm doing in reserve in the last 4 years. And I never knew where my choice was going to take me. And so right now I'm the operation officer of Gaza division, so I was responsible since 7 October for everything that's going inside and outside for all of these units. And I'm going back in Sunday, back to Gaza. I'm going back to Israel on Thursday. I will land on Friday with the Shabbat at home. And Sunday I'm going back. I live in a small village called Nitzan. It's a small village not so far away, as I said, from the Gaza Strip. It's south of Tel Aviv, next to the beach between Ashdod and Ashkelon. I married my wife, her name is Dana. I actually met her in Gaza. She's not a Palestinian and she never converted. She is a Jew, but she was an officer in Gaza. When I was in active duty, she was in active duty, so we met in Gaza. And that's where we met, and we have 7 kids. As you see, I have my own battalion at home. Every day I need to count and see that everyone is there. So this is Talia. She just finished her military service, and when the war started, she went back. And this is Efrat. She's a national service in Israel. Mayan, she's in the army right now. She's an instructor shooting in the paratroopers. Jonathan, as he's 18, is going to the army next year. Itai, Yotam, and the little one is Ronnie. But there is one more picture here. But I didn't find his brother picture. His name is Yosef. He's from LA. We're adopting him. He's part of the family. And his brother is Daniel. So we're adopting 2 more kids. They are full part of the family. They came to Israel when they were 15. And they're living in our house. He is now a soldier in Gaza. I just went to meet him when he just got out for 24 hours from Gaza. This is a picture. And his brother in the border is with Lebanon. And so the name of this, I don't know how to call it, a brief speak, is from crisis to victory. And you know, I started with this picture because this picture is very, very, very amazing in my eyes, very special. This house was in Kibbutz Kfar Aza. In Kibbutz Be'eri. And a terrorist infiltrated this house, same like many other houses, and killed the family inside. And when they started this invasion from Gaza, every group brought with her a spray. And they wrote, after they killed the family, they wrote Hamas. and they throw away the spray when they finish. And when surgery came, they took the spray and they wrote Am Israel Chai. And that's why this picture is very, very special in my eyes. And we're going to speak about the crisis and the victory. And after we speak about the crisis, that the crisis was, I believe that you think that it took like, I don't know, maybe 1 month or 2 months. It was only 24 hours. And I'm explaining why. And then victory came right after. And after we finish to speak about the crisis and the victory, I'll try to speak with you about perspective. How to look about everything that happened in September, in October 7, in another kind of perspective. I think that that's the right way to look at it, but we will see. So, this is the map of Israel. This is Gaza Strip. You can see it. This is Egypt. As you can see, there is a border between Gaza and Egypt. And for me, when I was a kid, Gaza was just one more Arabic city. Nothing was so special about Gaza, or Gaza Strip generally. I don't know if you've been in Gaza or in Israel before the 90s, but everybody can go to Gaza. If you want to buy cheap stuff, you go to Gaza. And they could come inside. There was no fence, no checkpoint, nothing. It was completely open. Why? The answer is very, very simple. There was no terror activities. Some of the people was sometimes stealing things, but almost no terror activities against Israel. But then, in 1992, I was there in 14. I'm 46 years old right now. I know that I look 56, but 46. I need the Botox, I'm kidding. Okay. Anyway, so when I was 14, Israel decided to sign an agreement, special agreement with the Arabic in Gaza and Judean Samaria with Yasser Arafat. It's called Oslo Agreement. I was very young. I didn't even understand what will be the aftermath of this kind of agreement. But I know that this is a peace. And peace is a good word. And especially for normal people, Jewish people, even non-Jewish people. Some peace is a good word. Everybody wants to live in peace. So I thought, this is a very good decision. And many people in Israel thought it is an amazing decision. And some other people, few people say this is going to be the biggest mistake of Israel going to do. But we look at them and we blame them that they're just radical and they don't understand nothing. And just after the peace agreement was signed, for me, as a young boy, there is one thing that I couldn't do anymore. To use buses to go to school. Why? Because buses started to blow up in Israel. Then we left the main cities. Yasser Arafat got inside, the head of the Palestinians, and he started to smuggle a lot of weapons and TNT, and many suicide guys started to get into Israel and blew up themselves. And they killed more than 1,000 people in Israel in a couple of years. And I didn't understand that. I'm a kid, what's going on? This is a peace agreement, so why I should think like that would happen? Anyway, that was my first meeting with Gaza. Actually, I had one more meeting because I learned my high school was here. My parents sent me to a private school. It was not right here, this area. And I grew up here in Ashdod. Right now I live here. And they sent me to live here in this area, to school, to high school here in this area. And my teacher, he lived inside Gaza. Why? He wasn't a Palestinian, but those days, until 2005, there was 21 villages inside Gaza. They established in 1967, after Egypt didn't want to get Gaza back. After the war in 67, they didn't want that. So Israel took Gaza, and we started to build the villages inside. So many Jewish people lived in 21 villages all around this Gaza Strip. So we lived together. Bet Hanun, Jebalia, Netzarim, Jewish village Netzarim, and there were Nevet Kalim and some other villages. And my teacher lived in Nevet Kalim. So every time that I was a bit a troublemaker in school. I was a very good scores, but I was operation officer since I was 15. I was organizing all of the problems. So he liked to kick me out from the school, but when he kicked me out to his house. And I was going to his house. I knew his family. I was even sleeping in his house. He loved me very, very much. And I really appreciate this guy. Even he was the guy that he was a rabbi. So he made the marriage for me and my wife when we got married. And I knew this place, and it had an amazing beach, and I learned to know the Arabic people there, and I was always getting inside and outside from the Gaza Strip. But next time, for me in Gaza, is 1996, when I just joined the army. This is me. I know that it looks like a terrorist, no, but this is me. And I was a very young soldier in the elite unit. But in 6 months, just after I drafted the army, joined the army, I don't know if draft is the right word for the IDF, they sent me to Gaza with my unit to help to some other soldiers. And first time in my life, they sent me to a mission to stand in a military position and to look, see that nobody's coming and taking one of our army division, our army position. And suddenly, a fire was shot at me, and the bullet just ran just next to my head. And you know what I did? I froze. I didn't know even what to do. Young soldier, first time someone shot at me, I was just standing like this, and my commander came and started to shoot, and they killed this terrorist. And that was my first time that someone shot me or shot towards me. And thank God he missed, but this is my first military experience in Gaza. Next time, in 2005, I don't know if you can see here, but you can see here part of a bicycle. Sorry, Red. Part of a bicycle, and this is like the wall of one of the army position. So 2000, Rosh Hashanah, I'm celebrating with my parents, sitting around the table, and then in the night, my commander called me and told me, Yaron, I was a company commander. I was charged for more than 100 soldiers. I was already an officer. Yaron, you have to go immediately back to the base. What happened? We're all celebrating. This is Rosh Hashanah. Tomorrow they're going to start a war inside Gaza. And I didn't know what he's talking about. I mean, we have some indicates that something is going to happen, but not the war. So my mom, she heard me like speaking in the phone, and she told me, well, what's going on? I have to go back to the base. No, tell him that you're sick. I'm a company commander. I'm not in high school anymore. When I was in high school, I could use it, but I'm charged of 100 soldiers. Anyway, I went back, and then the next day, the second intifada started in Jordan, Samaria, and inside Gaza. And for the entire 35 days, every day, I faced with terror, shooting, grenades, RPG. Every day by day, I was in a fight, faced with terrorists like for 10 feet, 5 feet, even more. Crazy things. But in the last day, before we had to move to another place, one of my soldiers left his position because he lost something. He tried to find it out of the position, and I went out just to call him to come back. And then a 16 years old Palestinian from Gaza, riding a bicycle, smashed himself. Smashed himself against me and the soldier and blew up himself. And I injured very, very badly. Took me to the hospital, almost 4 months until I came back. On the next time, You can see a soldier kneeling on their knees, and you can see some of the soldiers holding dust. So 2003, I was the second commander of battalion, and my commander told me, listen, something very bad happened. There is an army vehicle, ATV, that was doing its way to find a tunnel from Rafah, that they dig it straight to one of our army positions. I will just go a bit back to show you something. So if this is Gaza Strip, this is the border between Egypt to Gaza Strip. And beginning in the 80s, the Palestinians start to dig a tunnel in the 80s from Egypt to Gaza Strip. Why? Because they want to smuggle things. So they smuggled cigarettes, they smuggled lion to the zoo, they smuggled women from Ukraine, smuggled everything. But then the terrorists, the Hamas, that was established only in the early 1990, he thought to himself, wait, if it can work from smuggling, we can dig this tunnel and attack the IDF. So they tried many times, as maybe you remember that they kidnapped Gilad Shalit, they dig a tunnel in 2006. But in 2003, by the way, half of the people that living here in Gaza, more than half, are Egyptian. Why? Because in the early 19th century, the French wanted to dig the Suez Canal. So they took the Egyptian, they worked with them from the south, finished in the north, and left them there. And so the people that live here, they speak in the same language. The Egyptians don't speak the same language, not exactly the same language, but the other Palestinians. It's different. The accent is different. The tradition are very, very different. So, and they have families inside Egypt, but Egypt never really cared about them. Vice versa, right now, the Egyptian put 2 armor battalion just next to the borders and say, if someone will cross and try to escape of the IDF to Egypt, we will shoot him. We don't give you a place here. And they're Egyptian as well. But of course, all of the world, not all of the world, blame Israel for siege, but as you know, there are no siege. There is a border here. Anyway, go back to this picture. So, one of the vehicles, we found a tunnel. So the soldier used this vehicle, they drive it straight to this place, and they want to blow the tunnel up, to put the TNT inside, and blow up the tunnel. So they found it, and then a terrorist shot it, RPG, hit the vehicle, and because the vehicle was full in TNT, it just disappeared. Completely disappeared. I think that the biggest part of the ATVs that I found is that's big. Now try to imagine, what about the soldiers? So we couldn't find nothing from the soldiers. And my commander told me, listen, we promised to the parents that we will bring something from the soldier back. So they will have a grave. And we go into a mission inside Gaza to go and to find something from the soldier, and under fire for 3 days. My soldier was trying to find bones, whatever. We started in this side, there is a protected wall from this side, and then in the other side it's much more dangerous inside Rafah. These are 3 of the soldiers that died. You can see like the soldier holding here a bone. And that's what we found. But one of our values, like the IDF, we are always do the best to bring our soldier back home. Even if it's 2 of my soldiers killed by a sniper during this mission, to find bodies. But we know that this is the important mission to bring soldiers back home. Next time from in Gaza in 2005. In 2005, because the Oslo agreement was so successful, they decided to do one more move and to leave completely all of the Gaza Strip and to take out all of the Jewish people that was living in these 21 villages. And Prime Minister Sharon this day, and even the chief of the staff, told us, look at Gaza right now. You see how it looks like? In 10 years from now, it's gonna be Singapore. It's gonna be heaven, a beautiful place, because they have now no reason to fight with Israel. Because if they're saying that they're fighting against us because of the land, okay, here, this is 67 line. Gaza is yours. We're going out. It's going to be heaven. And you know what? Exactly when we signed on this agreement, it's not agreement. Like we made the move without even cooperating with them. Say, just take it, because they didn't even want us to see them to talk. On the same day that we left Gaza Strip, they shot 35 rockets into Israel. On the same day. Like saying, this is our first word. You will hear from us in the next. By the way, on the next days, a couple of cities from around the world decided to sign of kind of agreement. It's called like twin cities, sister cities. So Monaco signed a sister city with Gaza, Barcelona, and some other cities. By the way, Monaco and Gaza have the same budget of every year, $3.5 billion. Monaco just created by itself, and Gaza just getting external help and money from all over the world, but they use it only for tunnel. So this look like a sister city. It look more Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito in the movie Twins. That's kind of Swiss twin city. And when they asked to take all of the Jewish out, I asked my commander, I don't want to take part of this. I don't want to take my brother and sister out and to force them to go into the bus and they go and leave their houses and to smash their houses with all the trucks and everything. He told me, okay, but what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to help them or they're going to take them. And I was going with all of my family to the hotels in Jerusalem and some other places where they took them, and I helped them with their suitcase, and one of the people that were there in the bus was my teacher with his family, and I helped him to take his suitcase and everything and to help him to get into his room. It was crazy days. People were so sad. And then next, I was already Lieutenant Colonel. The chief of the staff asked me to come and to be the commander of the Southern Area Training Base, to be the one that training all of the soldiers that are going to fight in Gaza. And I did it for 3 years. And what you see here in the picture, it's me inside the tunnel. Why I'm inside the tunnel? It's not a Hamas tunnel. This is the IDF tunnel that we build in our training base to just prepare kind of a model to prepare to opportunities that they use their tunnel to infiltrate into Israel. So even in those days, I'm talking about 2013, we know that they have a tunnel, and we know that maybe they're going to use them. But we never realized how many tunnels they're building and how far and how big is going to be the attack. And this picture is 1 month before October 7. What you see here is Palestinians that are crossing the border into Israel to work inside Israel. Wait, there is a terror they're shooting a rocket. Why thousands of Palestinians crossing the border into Israel? Why they're not crossing to Egypt? Because again, the Israeli ministry, some of the Knesset members, even the IDF officers say, so the problem is not about the land, the problem is about that they are very poor, because the Hamas is the leader. I don't know if you know, but in 2007, the Hamas, when we left in 2005, the Palestinian Authority, the Fatah, he was charged in this place, and then in 2005, the Hamas came and started to kill them, murder them. He threatened from the building. They ran to the fence, asked for help Israel to open the gate for them. They didn't run to Egypt, they ran to Israel. And beginning in 2007, the Hamas is the leader inside. And they didn't give work to anyone. He didn't try even to do nothing, just terror. So the people were very, very poor. So we thought that maybe if we will give them work inside Israel and their economic situation will be better, so maybe there will not be terror activities. And some of the people that were working in Israel, and I say some, it's more like 30% of the people that were working in Israel took a major part, like a big part in the attack in October 7. You know what? I tell one more thing. A couple of months before October 7, Kibbutz Be'eri, amazing place. It looked like heaven. By the way, all of the kibbutzim around Gaza Street, there are a line of people that are just waiting that one of the houses will be empty so they can get inside and live. Heaven, you don't even imagine how heaven is. Beautiful place. Most of the people there really believe in peace with the Palestinians. And they gave them a work inside the kibbutz. And in the last Memorial Day, in Kibbutz Be'eri, they opened the gate for the Palestinians and they said, let's make a common Memorial Day together. You're the families that lost your son, even though they belong to the Hamas. And we that we lost our soldiers, let's make a common Memorial Day together. And in October 7, some of the people that were sitting next to the Jewish people inside Kibbutz Be'eri infiltrated inside and murdered them. And now, October 7. In the morning, that's how it starts. Many parts of Israel. This is how it looks above my head. And 6:30 in the morning, all the family waking up. It's Simchat Torah, it's a holiday. We went to sleep 2:30 a.m. in the morning, celebrating, eating in the synagogue, and went to sleep, waking up 6:30 in the morning. So the sirens start. And my wife asking me, Yaron, you are the operation officer of the Gaza division. This is a normal racket or something different? I repeat her question. Is this a normal racket or something special? By the way, my kids, you know what they did when the sirens start? They all run outside to see how the Iron Dome is hitting the rockets. Because we all the time, during all of the years, we know that the rockets actually were doing nothing because we have the Iron Dome, so it's exploding up in the air. And I called to my commander. His name is Owen, and I will speak about him. This is my commander, in reserve as well, a general. And I asked him, Owen, is this a normal rocket or something different? He lived not so far away from Gaza Street. And he told me, listen, I can hear machine guns. So maybe there is something a bit different. Maybe there are a couple of terrorists trying to infiltrate, penetrate into Israel, and it's not just a rocket. But I'm not sure. Something to drive to the Gaza Division Base Command. Did you, if you can, please come. Now, what is the meaning of normal rockets? So for years, we got used to it, that they shooting the rockets, but we want to live our normal life. So we have the Iron Dome, and we have the shelters, and we have the siren. So, okay, sometimes they're shooting a rocket, so they can shoot the rockets, we will keep our life. And they took advantage of this, and they built themselves to be more and more and more powerful. By the way, I have a very good friend in Seattle. He came to me 2 years ago, and both of us, we sat together in a coffee shop in Tel Aviv. Suddenly, 8 p.m., sirens start. So he stand up, Yaron, what should I do? I said, slowly, or you don't need to run. Everybody was just standing up, walking slowly to the coffee shop. There is a shop there. As the siren stopped, everybody came out, sat around the tables, and one of the guys next to us called to the waiter. He was like very pissed off. He said, "Where are you? Come here, come here." The waiter comes and said, "Why my coffee is cold?" So my friend said, "What did he say?" I told him, he asked why his coffee is cold. Are you nuts? There were just rockets explode up there in the air, above our heads, and we care about his coffee? I told him, "Dan, listen, you don't understand. This is part of the Israeli culture. We don't want nothing to stop our normal life." I've been in Manhattan a couple of years ago, 10 years ago. Someone shoot someone else next to one of the buildings that belonged to the mayor, killed someone there. They blocked the city for, I think, almost 2 days. Just for that. And in Israel, very quick, going back to normal. So I called to my commander and asked him, "So what's going on?" So as I told him, he told me to come. He started to drive, and I tried to find my uniform because I'm in a reserve. I'm not wearing them every day. Tried to find my uniform. I found them. I found out that the button is not closed because I'm not in shape anymore. So I need to keep in shape. This is what happened to every reserve soldier. And start to drive. And on my way, usually it's taking me 45 minutes to get to the Gaza Division Base Command. And on my way, a police officer blocked my way and he told me, "You cannot drive from here." And he was like, I saw that he's like he's emotional. He's like, he barely speak. And I said, "Why? You can't just turn back." And I said to myself, I didn't turn the radio because it was Shabbat. I said, "It's not necessary. I will get to the base and I will say what's going on." And I drive back, and I thought to myself, police officer, he don't use the rackets too much, so he's really a bit afraid. I don't know what's going on with him. So I tried to get from another place, and another officer blocked my way. So I found a dirt road that I knew when I was in the high school. So I know all of these dirt roads there, and I start to drive there. And then it took me 3 hours to get to my base. And when I got there, so first of all, my commander, he left his house, this guy, and he took his son with him. His son is officer in the intelligence unit, serving Gaza division as well in reserve. So you just have their guns and pistols. So they start to drive, and after 5 minutes, they found themselves in the middle of the Nova party, and surrounding by many terrorists, and they start to fight just with a pistol, and all of the terrorists had the machine guns, and to start to evacuate the people there, and they didn't even understand what's going on. They thought that this is the only place that something is happening. Here's a video from what my commander was standing, you will maybe see right here, and he asked them to hide behind the tank. It's a tank that was hit by a drone. Shot as he was taking this video. And I didn't know about it. I was just driving to my base. When I got to my base, I saw this picture. Motorcycle lying on the side. It's motorcycle that the terrorists use. Many vehicles like that they use with the machine guns. The gate was open. And a died soldier lying there on the ground with his gun on his body. I had no gun. I'm in a reserve unit. Why should I hold a gun? I took his gun. I got inside the base, and immediately as I got in, they started shooting me from 2 different places. So I shoot back. That's what I used to do as an infantry soldier. And I thought that, okay, maybe there are 2 terrorists here. And I didn't know that there are already 40 terrorists inside the base. So I started shooting one side, I killed one terrorist. I ran, took a shelter, and then a huge guy, terrorist, just popped up in front of my face. I needed to take a step back just so I can shoot him. And I saw one soldier and I asked him to join me. And then let's try it together, because what I need to do as an operation officer of the Gaza division to get to the operation room and to start to manage all of the units and to give them an order and to stabilize the situation. And what I know in my head, what's happening right now in Gaza Strip, it's just in this base. I didn't know nothing about happening all over. It took me 3 hours of fighting, and in the first hour, I saw a helicopter above my head, like up in the air. Okay, IDF helicopter, so you need to shoot, but helicopters, pilots never shoot if there is no officer in the ground. Let's speak with them and tell them, listen, this is where we are, this is where the enemy, this is the line between our soldier to the terrorist. Now we can shoot, because the pilots from the air, what he said, just black and white. Just black and white, because the warm, the heat of the body. So you can't even distinguish and to know who is the soldier and who is not. And just see people running inside the base. So you don't even know how to talk with him. I have no radio. I'm still in the base, fighting. Just me in the uniform and a gun that they took with from these soldiers. And then my cell phone rang. I answered the cell phone and they say, "Hi, this is the pilot, I'm there. They told me that you are from the Central Base Command in Tel Aviv, that you are the operation officer of Gaza. Give me an orders." And I told him, "Give you an orders? I tell you what I want you to do. I want you to shoot on this building inside the base. This is half of this building is the gym." And he told me, "Are you crazy? You want me to shoot rockets from the helicopter to the base, to the military base?" I said, "Yes, there are terrorists inside." He didn't believe me. I said, "You have to shoot in." He told me, "Listen, I will shoot, but if after this attack the insurance company will come, this is your problem." I said, No problem, just shoot or I'm gonna shoot you." So he shoot 3 rockets. There were 10 terrorists inside that were shooting from inside. They were actually here and here, and some of the roof collapsed and they died. Some of them tried to escape and we shoot them. And what you see here is one of the rooms inside the base. They killed here 2 soldiers that were sleeping inside. And after they finished, as they used to do in other places, they just writing a curse on the wall in some of their ideology on the wall. So, and then an elite unit came. It's named Shaddad. It's a very special elite unit that belonged to the Air Force. And I called to my commander again, and he didn't know that he was fighting. I told him, "Listen, there are terrorists inside the base. I cannot get to the operation room. What do you want me to do?" So he told me, "Yaron, I want you to drive to another base. Its name is Urim. Urim base. It's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from here. Go there and try to build an operation room. Try to find there somewhere to work from." So I drove there and I was thinking, okay, this is a military base, so 20 minutes drive. I'm sure the terrorists will be there. As I got into this base, I saw that already bodies of the terrorists, but some other soldiers came. I said, "How can they get here? 20 minutes drive from Gaza and so many bodies, like almost 20 bodies of terrorists inside." I got into the room and I had no radio, empty room, just with the windows. So I said, okay, I will use my cell phone. And as I took my cell phone, I saw 100 calls that almost 100 calls that I didn't answer. And I said, what? And I didn't recognize any number. So I thought, wait, this is Shabbat. It's not Thursday. Usually on Thursday I get 100 calls from my wife because I need to buy things for Shabbat. I forgot this and I forgot that. You have to go back. So usually in every Jewish people know that. The Thursday, this is the day that your wife calling you more than any other day. So I didn't understand what is it. So and then another call come. I answered, and someone said, "Hi, my name is David. I live in Kibbutz Mefalsim. You have to come immediately." I said, "What's happened?" "I'm in the safe room in my house. I'm holding the handle of the door. I'm with my family. They're trying to break in. If you not come immediately, I will die." I thought, "Are you kidding me?" And then another call came back. My very good friend of mine, his name is Shai Levi, he's a military commentator in Israel. And he lives in Kibbutz Nirim. And he called me, Yaron, you have to come. So what's happened? It's another area around Gaza Street. Terrorists trying to break down the door of the safe room inside my house. I'm holding the handle. And with my kids, if you will not come immediately, they will kill us all. I said, wow, what's going on? And then another call came. And a woman told me, my daughter, she was in the party. She climbed on a high tree. There are many terrorists under the trees, and she's hiding. She sent me her location. Go and save her. And one after call, after call, after call. And I was shocked. What's going on? So another officer joined me. We took a marker and we used the window to start and to write which place is asking for help and where we're sending the soldiers. So I called to some of them and they used only my cell phone and they used only their cell phone. There was no radio, there nothing, it's an empty room. So we started to call to some of the unit commanders and they said, okay, we're coming immediately. And the terrorist was hiding and waiting for them, killed many soldiers that we sent to save those people and some other people that was at their houses. Some of the soldiers that came randomly, they gathered to some of the areas around Gaza Street, and they just gathered together, and they called me, they say, if this is your own, we have your number, what are our mission? Who are you? Just one soldier from Golani unit, paratroopers unit, Nachal unit, were together, give us a mission. And for 7 hours just getting phone by phone and calling to people, me and some other officers, not like me, not just me. And after a couple of hours, just took a step back and I looked in the window and I saw a line of names of villages and places that I sent more and more soldiers. And I just started to understand the crisis. And by the way, there was one kibbutz that we didn't send even one single soldier, called Kibbutz Neroz. Kibbutz Neroz is located just next to the fence. And when they just started the attack, it took them between 13 to 15 minutes to break the fence and all of the obstacle and to get into the village. They didn't have a chance to take their cell phone and to call because everybody was sleeping. So the terrorists infiltrated inside, to start to kill and slaughter all of the people, and nobody had the chance to call. And we didn't even know, I personally didn't even know that these kibbutzes exist. And just in the night, when we had a bit of time just to see all of the list of the villages, we said, wait, what about this kibbutz? And when we sent their soldiers, there was no one to save anymore. And by the way, there is unbelievable video of something that happened in this kibbutz. You can see, I don't know if you know, but the first attack of this murder, this terrorist, was 2,500 people. So they attacked, it was the first wave. They infiltrated into Israel, penetrated into the villages and some of the military position. But then immediately comes the second wave. The second wave, it's more, 2,000 people more, that I think, I don't know if this is the right word in English, I will call them the mob. They had just knives and axe whatever they could hold, and to just break in after the terrorists, and they walked in the villages like this is their own places, and start to kill the people that left, and to steal things. So in one of the videos, you can see a pickup eating inside the village, and one guy saw a bicycle, he put it behind the pickup. And then he opened one of the cars, he took the battery, put it behind. And then he saw a young child running, he took him, put it behind, and he drove like nothing. He's from Kibbutz Tiroz. At 7 p.m. in the evening, my commander came, Owen. And I didn't know that he was under fire, or like everything that happened to him, and he was just getting to this base, and I told him, where have you been? I thought I don't know where he was. He's staying at home. I don't know where he was. And he couldn't even answer. His face was white. We're white. He just got into the bathroom and locked himself. And just after 30 minutes, he went out and he held my shoulder and told me, Yaron, we have to work. And I told him, Oren, listen, we cannot work from here. This is not a place to build a picture and understand what's going on. We have to go back to the Gaza Division Base Command. I told me, are you crazy? If you just leave the base, they will kill you. There are many terrorists on the way. But I don't care. Oren, listen, I'm not working from here. If you want to save more people, we have to go straight there to the base. So he told me, listen, Yaron, this is an order. You're not leaving this base. I told him, Oren, you're my commander in reserve. I'm in reserve. I don't have to listen to you. I'm leaving. So I asked some of the officers that were already there, who want to come with me? This was a very dangerous. Everybody knows that terrorists all over the way. This is my private car. So one of my officers, his name is Eli Dimentman. He told me, I'm coming with you. I told him, Eli, you're not coming with me. Your brother murdered 10 months ago in Judah and Samaria in a terror activity. You are not coming with me. So he gave me this answer. Yaron, you're my commander in the reserve unit. I'm in a reserve unit. I don't have to listen to you. I'm coming. And he got in the car. And then I needed more officers. I asked, I have 3 more places. And 3 young officers, girls, just 22 years old, said, we are coming. And I told them, no, you're not coming. They gave me the same answer. And they got inside. And I knew that we're going to take a very big risk, and the chance that we will get to the base is not high. So I just put my gun in my private car, like this, and I was driving. And usually, when you drive this road from this base, I thought it would take 20 minutes. This time it took us 1 hour. It took us 1 hour because all of the way we were just driving between bodies, left and right and left and right. Many bodies, dozens of bodies. Some of them belong to the people from the Nova party. Some of them to the people that was trying to escape from the villages. Some of the soldiers, some of the terrorists, and many cars just on the center. I couldn't drive. By the way, 2 days later, my commander sent me from the Gaza Division Base Command to go to another base just to cooperate something. 2 days later, and I was driving, and I took a video and how the way looked like 2 days later after they already took all of the bodies, and they just tried to make the way, push all of the cars to the side. All of these cars, or many people inside, that the terrorists shot them inside the cars that walked their way out from south and the north. Nobody could go out. Some of them tried to escape, and they just shot them one after one inside the car. This is just a small part. So when I was driving there, the body was all on the road. You can see just small part. So I get into the village. I got into my base again in the night. I got into the operation room and start to work like crazy. And we had three main missions on this night. The first one is to block the way of the terrorists out, because they still try to kidnap citizens and soldiers. And when they came in, they broke the way in 85 places all around Gaza. And now you need to block 85 places so they cannot go back. Second mission, to evacuate all of the Jewish people that were still inside the village, because we didn't want them to be in danger. And the third is to kill the terrorists that already still inside the Israel area, because many of them had a mission, because we knew that in the first day when we catch some of the terrorists, they said that some of them get a mission just to stay there for a long time, like weeks, and to attack the military. When we start this attack inside Gaza, they will come from behind and kill more soldiers. So we got this information, and we start to look after them. It took 1 month to find all of these terrorists. Back to the villages. So I told you that they're infiltrated inside. And what you see here, this is two pictures that I took. This is the Young's neighborhood in Kfar Aza. Usually young couples that just got married with kids came to live here. This is one of the houses. Everybody wanted to come and to live here. And they just broke inside the house, murdered people, killed them, house after house, and then they went outside and they just wrote curses, and we are here, and Hamas, you will never beat us, on the walls. Here, one more, so you can see the shooting in the walls, and same here. This is what the first 24 hours. I was shocked. By the way, on the second day, 5:30 in the morning, after 24 hours, I went to the villages to help. My commander sent me to go to rest after 24 hours. I said, listen, I want you to rest just a couple of hours because I need you here soon in the operation room. And I said, okay. And I started to drive to the villages. I didn't want to go into rest. I wanted to help and to still have to fight inside the villages to save people. And I started to drive from one village to another, and I saw the hair in my eyes. It's not just they kill people, they all act like a butchers. This is the picture that you never can imagine in your lives that you will see. Such a brutal way to kill people and to even play with the bodies. And I was shocked. I went back to my base for a couple of hours. I couldn't function after I saw this horror in my eyes. And I took a pill, first time in my life. I took a pill to relax and to go back to work. A couple of hours later, my commander sent me to one of the villages, to one of the military bases, to start to prepare, to call to our soldiers, but in reserve, to come and to prepare to attack in Gaza. And at this point, I saw the victory start. After more than 24 hours. When I started to drive there, that's what I saw. And I took a video. Line of cars with soldiers from reserve unit. Kilometers of cars. 300,000 soldiers with the next day came just by themselves. Nobody called them, nobody sent them any weapon. All of them came out and by themselves. You can see the traffic. Endless. All of the road is flat. And They said, here we are.
You translate that.
Yeah, we are. They said, here we are. We're not waiting. Nobody to call us. We're not waiting. We know what we should do. And by the way, not only from Israel. Many Israelis that was traveling around the world just left, took a flight and back. Many Jewish people that, or non-Jewish people that served in the army and lived in the diaspora came. Arabic, that's in Israel, that served in the army came back. Christian, everyone that just served in the army came. Nobody wait that we will call him. And when I was driving there and I saw that, I understood that the victory start here. It starts here because of the unity. You know, I heard about what's going here in America between the right wing and the left wing, and in Israel before October 7, it was crazy. I believe that maybe you were a bit aware to the news. Right wing against left wing. Those that support to make a change in the Supreme Court, and those who know. So many clashes between so many groups in Israel. We were very, very separated. But in 24 later, when all of them came together, put everything aside, and just came. And I was thinking at that point about something that I say every Shabbat evening in Lecha Dodi, to the parade that we say every Shabbat. And we say, Itna'ari ma'afar kumi. Stand up from the dust. You've been in the dust right now. Not just because of October 7, even before all of these clashes between so many people inside Israel. Now this is the time to stand up from the dust. We've been in the dust. All of this killing, all of this brutal, Jewish. It's not about only these people that was living around Gaza Strip. It's against all of this attacking. It was against the Jewish. At this point, we've been in the dust. But this is the point now to stand up. Now this is your time to wear the clothes of the nation. Do you know any clothes of the nation that everybody can agree? All of you buying clothes in Gap or Old Navy or I don't know where? I believe not. But there is only one kind of clothes that everybody wear, the Israeli uniform. It's not if you are rich or you are poor, if you are Ashkenazi or Sephardi, if you live in the north or in the south. When you wear the uniform, there is no difference between anyone. Aliyat ben Ishai bet Alachmi, by Ben Ishai, the son of Ishai from the Alachmi, from the family of the Alachmi. Ben Ishai is King David. King David said that you should fight like him, or now you're going to war. King David had two names, except of David. The second name was Adino Aitzni. Adino means the gentle, Aitzni is the wood. Because when he was living his regular life, he wasn't at war. He was gentle, it says like in the Torah, like a worm. Worm. That's the word they want to say that. You know, when he played with his kids, when he with his wife, when he's going to travel, like every one of us, we want to live a gentle life. That we're like almost every normal people want to live a normal life. But when he was going to a war, he was strong like a wood. So it says, yeah, you stand up, you wear the uniform. But now that you are going to fight, you're not going to fight just against, you're not fighting against the Palestinians. You're not fighting against the building, against the cement. You're going to fight for a reason. Like King David, just thinks it necessary to defend the Jewish people. And then, Karba Nafshi Geala. This is the point that the Geula is coming. I don't remember how you say in English Geula. turning, Geulah, redemption, and then the redemption will come. I don't know how the redemption will look like, but I know one thing for sure. The redemption, the basic part of the redemption is unity. When everybody will come together and gather, the redemption is just starting. That's what I thought when I saw all of these vehicles. And you know what? I don't want to compare this to those brutal Hamas, but the same like they had the first wave and the second wave. For the first wave was the soldier, but the second wave of the people that came, a couple of days later, almost 1 week, I wanted to drive again to another beach. That usually it's taking me a couple of minutes, but it took me 1 hour because the road was blocked again. But this time not by terrorists, by many Jewish people and non-Jewish people from all around the world. They came and stand with the flags and packages with things to the soldiers and sandwiches, and everybody just brought something and say, here we are. We came. We are not a soldier, but we just stand behind you. And I'm talking about thousands of people from all over the world, not just from Israel. And I was shocked. And I was thinking to myself, if I look back and I see that all of the Jewish nation stand behind me, the way forward to Gaza will be much more easier than I thought. Because I have a reason. The biggest things that a commander or any soldier can take with him to the battle is a reason. The question why. And just to look back and to see why. And they even started to build randomly in many places kind of barbecue for the soldiers. Just took a video of one of these places. Just in this place, 17,000 hamburger per day. Because we waited 3 weeks, and I will explain immediately why we waited 2 weeks until we start the attack. And all of the soldiers were there, and they came and they just wanted to do something. So they made a lot of barbecue and a lot of bring many things just to the soldier. By the way, this is a picture from my house. My wife, she said in our village, if someone want to maybe make something to the soldier, so we can bring it to my house and we'll try to send it with someone. Every 2 days, a hammer full of food, hot food to the soldiers. My house was just a small part. Everybody was just coming and bringing more and more food till now. In Monday and in Thursday, it's happening till this week. Not just my wife, in all of Israel it was like that. All of Israel. So we waited 3 weeks to start the attack. Why? The reason is 350,000 soldiers, reserve unit. They didn't train. We need to get them back into, learn them again, to train them, to prepare them, to learn the mission again, to build the right mission, a very good plan to attack in Gaza, to give them all the equipment that they need. Because people are asking me many times, we sent binocular to Israel, a uniform. So why the IDF don't have all these things? Of course we have. But so many soldiers that already retired from service, they didn't want to left. I'm talking about thousands of soldiers. He said, we are here. I know we're not going home. We're going inside to fight. And we needed to give them immediately more and more equipment. Nobody wants to go back home. I don't know if you heard about it. Some of the soldiers inside, they didn't even join to a unit. They just get inside Gaza by themselves. They wanted to fight. They wanted to take apart. It was crazy. And 3 weeks later, the attack was started. By the way, 2 tanks that I saw doing their way to Gaza. One with the Chabad flag, and one of the Israeli flag. Yes. And this is me. The first week inside Gaza. You can see me here sitting next to the destruction here, and here inside the hammer. This was 5:30, not 6:30 in the morning, and we started to bomb some of the houses of the Hamas that they were just put the trap inside the houses and put a lot of explosive charge or use that for a tunnel. This is a video that I took. And you can see this area, it's called Bet Hanun. Bet Hanun was at the front line of the Hamas. Most of the houses there was full of traps to the soldiers. This is a video that I took because I know that one day airstrike. So later, I went to start to walk to this. After we went to this house. By the way, I took a very big risk by taking this video, but I knew that one day I will come to New Mexico and I have to show something. And when I got to this house, you can see here one of our soldiers, and there is many terrorists here, and this is one more risk that I took. So you can see all of this destruction, and many people were asking me, even in the media when I gave it, why you have to destroy so many houses? Why? Why can't you just fight without destroying so many houses? Thousands of houses were destroyed by the IDF. Why we should do that? And I said, you're right. This is very, very bad, all of this destruction. But you need to turn this question to the Hamas. Why you used so many houses of civilians to fight against Israel? Why you abused them? You know what? I thought that most of the people are abused by the Hamas. I just Googled it because I didn't put a picture here. So many houses when we saw a picture of Hitler on the wall and the My Camp book almost in every house. And I was shocked because I really believed that the majority of the people in Gaza just want to live in peace. They don't, and they're just abused by the Hamas. And when we get in, you see that in many houses under the beds, you can see this is just a demonstration, how it looks like a huge tunnel. Look how big are the tunnels. Many tunnels. We're talking about 400 miles of tunnels. I don't know where can you get from here, from New Mexico in 400 miles. Just try to imagine that. 400 miles. 10 meters underground, 20, 30, 40, 50, like a city.
You get to the northern part of New Mexico, it's 400 miles.
Well, maybe, yeah. But here it's for terror, not just for immigration. And it's all of the tunnel were traps, a lot of traps inside. It was crazy. They never built even one kindergarten in Gaza all of these years. Not hospitals, not nothing, just tunnels. By the way, they are in the media. That's why you're getting and fighting inside the hospitals. So the first hospitals that I went in, it was the Malaysian hospital. They donate, all of the hospital in Gaza is by donation. They donate a hospital. Under the hospitals, a huge tunnel. And I just heard that yesterday, the Turkish tunnel in Gaza, they found a military, like Hamas position underground. Tell you something funny. There was a hotel that all of the people from the UN used to come to this hotel next to the beach in Gaza. So we found there a lot of tunnels, and we blew up all the hotel. And the next day, I got into booking. I tried to make order a room to this hotel to see what's going on with this hotel. So actually, it was open. I could do that. But I said, okay, let's see what is facilities in this hotel. So there is a pool, there is a gym. They didn't mention every tunnel in this hotel. But it was still open in booking. You can still order. There's nothing left, of course. One more video. I'm the only one on the roof. If my wife will see this video, she will kill me. You will not see any soldier on the roof, just me. And this is me. This is a special picture that I want to speak about. You see me standing here next to this wall, and here on the wall it says, Tiyu tovim, tiyu chamami. Be good, the same like Hamami. Hamami is the second name. He was the commander of the Southern Brigade of Gaza. So we were at the Gaza division. It separated two brigades, the North Brigade and the South Brigade. He was the commander of the Southern Brigade of Gaza. We've been very, very good friends. We worked together, of course, I'm the operation officer of the Gaza division, so we worked together and I gave him a lot of orders and we really have a lot of meetings. So on October 7, actually on October 6, he brought his son to spend the time with him in the Shabbat in the military base. Not only him, even some other officers, because they had no clue that something like that was going to happen. And when the attack on this base started, he ran with his son, 9 years old. He jumped, threw him inside the operation room and locked the door. And he went to fight inside of one of the villages, and he shot and died, a terrorist. And his son was locked in one of the rooms till the evening. We opened the room and we took him out straight to the head of his mom. And it was so good, and I really sorry. He was a really, really good person. So everywhere we just were writing that, be good, be like Hamami. One more thing that I want to tell you. You see these sandbags? Sandbags? See that? So usually everywhere that we're getting in, if we're staying there for more than a couple of hours, we're using this sandbag to protect ourselves so they will not shoot. And you can see that they shoot here, they're trying to shoot, so they will not shoot our soldiers inside. So usually this is the first thing that you do. One of the amazing things that was in this war, when the soldier get into the house and they decided to stay there for a couple of hours to manage the fight from there, the small operation room for every part, they didn't stop with the sandbag. With the sandbag. The start is sticking the letters from soldiers, from kids, from Israel and all over the world, just like this. And then they start to put the sandbag. Why? Because I asked one of the soldiers, why are you doing that? And he said, because we need to remember that this war is not just about 7 October. It's about for the next generation, to protect them, these kids. In every house it was like that. You know, if my bag is here, I was in Louisiana, all of my bag full of letters of young kids that gave me to give it to the soldiers. So that's how we look like. And you know, there is a lieutenant colonel here, you know, when you're getting an order from your commander to do a mission, usually it's not one paper. It'll be 50, 60 paper. But those orders from the kids, very, very simple. Just protect us. Bring the light. Protect all of the Jewish people. Save us. Simple orders. One more picture. I put this picture in purpose. So in the last operation inside Gaza, after we finish it, Yahya Sinwar, he sat on the same couch, same like this, like next to one of the destruction, and to send us a message: I will always fight, even if you destroy my house. And we sent him the same. This soldier decided to send him the same message next to his house. Here we are. We will always get in. We will never give up protecting our own people. Now, I want to talk with you about the perspective. And after I finish, you can ask as many questions that you just want. So I told you that I'm looking about everything that happened in another perspective. And I want to share with you a personal story that changed my entire life. The way that I look about, I think the way that I take any decision in life, and the way that I see crisis like this. So a couple of years ago, when I was a company commander, I was training with my soldiers in the north of the Judean Samaria. This is me training with my soldiers. We were in a elite unit training in the north of the Judean Samaria. And my commander came and told me, listen, Yaron, I need you with your soldier. We want you to drive into one of the IDF checkpoints, because there is an information from the intelligence unit that they're going to attack one of our checkpoints in the Judean Samaria. Actually, it's more in the Jordan Valley. And I said, why? Why do you need me? There is a full battalion there. We're practicing. We don't have much time to practice until we go to the next mission. So, full battalion, it's enough. I said, no, I want you. You're very experienced in fighting. I want you to go there. And I said, okay. It was 7 p.m. at night. 7 p.m. I took my soldiers. We went to this checkpoint, and I made kind of an ambush, waiting to this terrorist. And then I heard a shooting from one of the Israeli villages, just next to this checkpoint. This village called Hama. Israeli village. Most of the people here are agricultures. And I thought to myself, why should someone infiltrate into a Jewish village? There was no infiltrate into a Jewish village till this day. Maybe in the 70s to Ma'alot, one of the cities, but till then, no terrorist infiltrated into a Jewish village. But I said I will go and will check it anyway. So I got into the entrance, like it's somewhere here. I got into the village. I just got to the gate, and I saw some soldiers there from a reserve unit. I asked them, everything is okay? Yes, everything is okay. Are you sure? I said, yes, we're sure. And I decided to go to check it anyway. So I started to drive all over. I tried to make like all around to see that everything is fine. And when I got to this point, I heard in the radio, the military radio, that there is shooting from the greenhouses out of the village, someone shooting inside. And I said, okay, this is only one terrorist. Easy. And I told to my soldier, okay, prepare, we're going to fight. And I felt that they were a bit scared. So I asked them, what's going on? And they said, no, everything's okay. Are you scared? No, sir, we're not scared. So then listen, this is already 7:30 p.m. We have dinner at 8 p.m. We have 30 minutes, we're gonna kill him and go back. I don't want them to hesitate too much. So we got here. I told them to leave the car. We kneeled, and I told them, listen, we will shoot to this greenhouse, and we will see where is the shooting from, and we will find and kill him and go back. And I counted back, and when I saw he said fire, we all start to shoot together, and then immediately someone started to shoot us from behind, but like 6-8 feet from behind. I looked back, and I saw soldier with IDF uniform, and I'm 16, just shooting like that. And I said, stop, this is the IDF, why are you shooting? And he didn't stop. He started to run straight to the village, and I started to run after him to stop him because I wanted to say, listen, this is a friendly fire. And I just fell on the ground time after time. I didn't understand if there was any obstacle here. And I looked at the ground, and I was just lying on the, I felt one more time, and I saw that all of my shoes open, and I understood that I shot in my foot. Because of all of the adrenaline, I didn't feel it in the first moment. And my driver told me, listen, I shot in my back. And then I heard a scream, a woman scream. This terrorist, he got into this house. In the balcony here, there was a mom and her daughter that was waiting to the dad that would come back from work. The daughter, she was disabled in a wheelchair, 9 years old, and her mom. And he shot them both, and he grabbed them inside the house and shut the door. And I just crawled. It took like 30 minutes just to get here, and I lost the blood. And I climbed the stairs. I got in. I tried to open the door to get to the handle and to open the door. It took me time. And I opened the door and I saw him in the corner of the house. I shot him, and I lost my conscience. Next time I wake up, this is a terrorist, by the way. This is how they put his picture in Shechem. So proud of him in the terror organization, the Hamas, because he killed a family. So we need to be proud. Everybody need to be just like him. And this is me. They took me in the helicopter to the hospital. I'm in the stretcher lying here. Took me to the hospital. And next time I wake up after the surgery, and I open my eyes after the surgery, and I see my dad, like look at me like that. Usually, when I was young, if I was open my eyes and I saw my dad look at me like that, I'm in trouble. So I didn't understand in what trouble I am right now. And then I tried to look, where am I? And asked him, wait, Dad, what about the mom and the child and her daughter? So he told me, unfortunately, they died. And I closed my eyes and I would try to think what's happened here. How can it be? How can it be? I took with me the best soldiers, the best vehicle. I'm so well experienced about fighting against terror, the best gun, the best binocular. What was wrong? How did it happen? And I fell asleep because of all of the medicine. And next time I woke up, there was a rabbi that's sitting next to my bed with a guitar, Chabad rabbi, and he was just really, seriously, and he was just playing and just saying the words, "V'zacharta ki Hashem Elokecha hu hanoten lecha koach la'asot chai." Should keep remember that God, He is the one that give you the strength to fight. And then I understood the message. I took with me a lot of things. There's one thing I didn't take with me. I didn't take God with me. I was so trusting myself. So 2 weeks later, I was still in the hospital, and they took me in the ambulance back to the village because they made the first debrief about what happened. So there were a lot of generals that would come to investigate it, and they took me in the ambulance. I was in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair. We came into the village, and they asked me question: where have you been, or did the terrorists been? And I explained them. And then someone from the family came, just stand in front of me, pointed at me, and told me, you are the commander of the soldiers that have been here 2 weeks ago? I said, yes. This is your fault. You didn't come in time. And I look at him, and I say to myself, he's right. This is my fault. I didn't come in time. He's, as a civilian, as someone Jewish that live in the village, expecting that the IDF will be there just in time to block between the terrorists to his family. Why should we have such a strong IDF if we cannot get you just in time to help him, so he can go to work and know for sure that his family is protected? And I had no answer. But I had one answer to myself. I'm not going back to the military. I'm not skilled enough. I'm not good enough to lead soldiers. I cannot be a commander anymore. And I took a decision that I'm not going back to the army. So I went back to the hospital, and then they sent me home after, I remember, maybe 1-2 more weeks. All of my leg was a lot of steels in the legs. What? Pins. And then my battalion commander came to my house to visit me. He was a new battalion commander because they decided after this investigation that they fired the battalion commander, the brigade commander, the division commander. They felt all of them responsible for what happened. And he came with the papers to my house. And he got in and I want to speak with you. I said, okay. So listen, I'm the new battalion commander. You know what happened. You know that all of the other commanders were out. They kicked them out from the army. But there is no single bad words about you because you're the only one that got into the village and tried to find the terrorists. So I told him his name is Jonathan. I told him, Jonathan, in French, don't bullshit me. I know the truth. I'm not going back to be the commander of this company. And he said, no, what are you talking about? You are fine. You just need to come and say, Jonathan, I don't want to hear any word. Please leave the house. And he left. After 1 week, he came again. And he tried to convince me and convince my wife to say, we'll come back. And I said, Jonathan, I told you not to come here again. This is the last time I want to see you here. And he left because I blamed myself for everything that happened. And he left. And then he came third time. This time I put the dog out of the house. So he called me from outside. I went out and he said, what, Jonathan, what do you want? He said, listen, I'm not trying not to tell you to come back to the company. I want to send you to a special delegation. 2 weeks from now, there is a delegation that's called Witness in Uniform. A bunch of officers that we sending you with them to Poland to learn about the Holocaust. I wanted to go with them, and after we'll come back, give me your last answer. I said, you know what? Okay, I will go. So 2 weeks later, there were a group of officers in Poland for a full week, start to drive from one Holocaust camp, concentration camp to another, from one concentration camp to another, for a full week. It was very, very hard. For me, it was the first time in Poland, and I'd never been there to understand how it is, I don't know what the right word, disaster, or how big it was and how cruel was the Nazi. Of course, it was very hard, even emotionally. So when at the end of the week, the commander of the delegation, this guy told us, listen, we're going to leave Poland now, and we're going to 3 more days in Italy. And we asked, why are we going to Italy? Because during the World War II, there was a Jewish battalion that was fighting under the British Army against the Nazis. And I want you to learn about this battle. It took place in Italy, in the north of Italy, next to one of the rivers. So we'll go there and learn about it together. So some of us were thinking, we're in Poland, cloudy Poland, the food, Polish food, not so tasty, not so flavorful. So let's go and eat pizza and pasta, why not? So we took the flight to Italy. We landed in the north of Italy, in Ravenna, and then we took a bus to a town. I don't know if I announced the right, it's called Fina Faggiana, something like that. We got into the town and we started to walk as a group, officers with uniform, to the river out of this town. And as we were walking, an old man started to walk next to us. He was stunned to see a Jewish soldier. He was just asking, are you Jewish? We said, yes. No. Are you at the IDF? We said, yes, we're the IDF. And he started to walk from one officer to another and to kiss the IDF flag on the shoulder. We were shocked. And then he sat on the ground and he started to cry. But a deep, emotional cry. We didn't know what happened. We don't know who is it. We helped him to stand up. And as he stood up, all of his sadness turned into an anger. And he started to shout at us, "Where have you been? Where have you been? Why you didn't come in time?" We didn't know what he's talking about. My entire family killed by the Nazis. Why you didn't come in time? And he told us that he's originally from Poland, and after the war, his entire family murdered by the Nazis. And after the war, he moved to Italy. He had no answer. We were speechless. What answer can we give him? Israel wasn't established yet. There was no IDF. Who can come in time to save the Jewish people in Poland? Even those that could come in time didn't want to spend even one bomb to save the Jewish lives. Nobody wanted to come for the Jewish people. We went back to Israel, and I decided that I will take my company again and I will be the commander. 10 months later, I'm training again with my soldiers at the same place. Training. We went to sleep. 4 a.m. in the morning, my commander wake me up, Jonathan, he told me, listen, there are 2 terrorists. One infiltrated into the IDF camp and he killed 2 soldiers. And the other one is on his way to one village called Kaut, not so far away from Hama, where I injured, and these terrorists killed the family. I wanted to go there and to find him. And I jumped immediately to the car, took my soldier, but this time my mindset was very different. And I started with saying the song of Tehillim. Amlamed yadai lakrav, etzba'otai lamilchama. God would teach me how to use my hand in the war and my fingers in the battle. Please be with me this time. I don't want to go by myself. And I got into the interior of this village. I sent some of the soldiers inside the village, and we found his trail, start to walk after his trail, and we sound the speakers of the village saying, "Lock yourself, don't go out, there is a terrorist here." So I could imagine what's going on inside, that people are so scared that they know that there is a terrorist inside the village. And we start to follow his tracks, and suddenly I saw this terrorist kneel, waiting to us, but he was with his back to us and his face to the other side with Kalashnikov. This time he was with his back to our fence. And we shot him and killed him. And after 3 hours, anyway, this is the newspaper from the day after. You can see me here. And after 3 hours, we tried to see that there are not more any other terrorists. I got into the village. I asked all of my soldiers to gather together. I want to make a first debrief. Just like this is me here, but it's not in the village, it's another place, but just took another picture to show you how it looked like. Just standing just like that in front of my soldiers. And as I was talking with them, I felt someone touch my shoulder. I looked back and I saw a woman come with her baby, with a plastic bag with candies to the soldiers. And she asked me, "Are you the commander of these soldiers?" I said, "Yeah, it's me." She said, "I want to say thank you." I said, "What for?" "You came just in time." When she said that, I felt like someone is slapping me. And I said to myself, of course we came in time. Of course we came in time, because now we have a Jewish army to the Jewish people. Now we have our own land. This is not Europe. This is not Ukraine. This is not Poland. This is not Africa. This is all over. That when the rioters, for 2,000 years, when they just wanted to come like a storm, heading inside the village, killing everyone, nobody can block them. Nobody can camp. Even not after 24 hours. But this is not our reality. Because now, if you remember this picture, this video that is not working right now, we are coming. We are coming. Maybe sometime late. We have a lot to learn. We have to fix a lot of mistakes. But now we have our IDF to protect Israel. And there is armies that can come and to make his counterattack and to attack these terrorists and to make sure that there will not be more terrorists that will attack again. This is another kind of troubles. When we've been in the diaspora without Israel and without the IDF, that's what a real trouble. But now we have a troubles of a nation that has its own land. This is another kind of troubles. This is some type of trouble that we need to hug. You know, my wife, you don't know, but my wife, every rabbi in every village is like the Western world, just walking, because everybody comes to say all of these troubles to the rabbi, just without notes. So my wife coming to the rabbi and she said, "Rabbi, you know how many trouble we have. My daughter, she's a teenager, she's coming back from school. I'm asking her, where have you been? Cool, mom. How was your day? Cool, mom. Did you make homework? What did you eat? Cool, mom. And my boy, he just broke the window in the school. He's troublemaker just like his father. They kick him out to the house. And my young baby, she's almost 1 year old and she's not walking. Wow, I have so many troubles. What can I do?" And the rabbi told her, "Your neighbor have no kids." That's a real trouble. When we don't have our own land, when we don't have the IDF, that's a real trouble. And my message to you, first of all, to understand in the right perspective where we're standing, even now, even that they slaughtered 1,200 people in one day, there were 350 more. It's only the reserve and the active duty. Almost 5 million soldiers were there. And the second message is I want you to ask yourself all the time, where I am right in time in my life now? Am I right in time as a Jewish or as any other, not only Jewish, where I can be for the Jewish people, for my community, or just waiting that something will happen and someone else will do the job? Everybody can do something. I'm telling you, I saw and say, you as a Jewish from the diaspora coming to Israel, some of them come to help with the agriculture to pick oranges. Some of them came to help with the babies, to the soldiers that went to the battle and they stayed with just the wife behind. Some of them just had to pick stuff to the soldier. Some just stand with the flag. Some just in the diaspora send messages and letters and just send us everything just to tell us we are here with you just in time for the Jewish people. But we don't need to wait to the disaster. Every time in your life you should ask for settlement just in time. When I retired from the IDF after 24 years of service, so many companies, technology companies, come to me and say, you can come and work for us, and we creating a new high tech, and I was, after I retired from the army, I told to my wife, listen, every youth in Israel, after he finishes service, is going to South America to travel. And I am youth, So maybe I will go to 3 months to travel in South America. She said 3 weeks will be enough. So I went to Guatemala, and I climbed on the volcano mountain, and I was climbing. I was thinking to myself, what do I want to do after my 24 years of service? My personal writing time is to go and to sell ammunition to many countries and some machine guns or satellites. Is that what I need to do? That's the skill that God gave me to be writing time for the Jewish people. And I decided that I'm not doing that. I started doing many things, but one of the things that I did is to join to this organization that's called IDSF, like IDF, Israel Defense Security Forum. By the way, this is an article, I'll talk about it later, that I wrote 1 year before October 7th, and it published it all over Israel. Just after a couple of days, it was 500,000 people, almost 100,000, to say that I told them that it's going to happen, but we will talk about it later. So I joined to this group, to this organization, and we say because the goal of this organization is to change the mindset of those people that are taking the decision in Israel, and the youth inside Israel, and all of the people around the world about what are the security needs of Israel, to the long term, not just to the day after Gaza, to the generation after Gaza, and so on. And right now, we are more than 22,000 people inside in this organization. I am the CEO right now of this organization. Except of that, what I'm doing, my company, my private company, and I want to invite you to join. It's not cost money. It's not about donation at all. I'm not here for donation. If you just register yourself, you will get all of the details to your emails about what's happening in the reality in Israel, and your mission just want to be to share it with others, because the ignorance in the world is so big. It's so big. I've been in New Orleans 1 week ago. I was walking in this weird city in the downtown, and I saw weird people there. One of the funny things, I saw a woman, like she looked like gothic, all of her clothes and her face. She was standing behind the very low table, and I didn't saw any cars, so she's not like saying the future or things like that, all of the others. So I asked her, what are you doing? She said, I'm writing poems. So interesting. So I asked how much it cost. She said $10. I said, here $10. I want you to write a poem. Can you write? Say, yeah, I can write about everything. Just give me a subject. I told her, can you write about Israel? So she said, you mean about the miserable Palestinian in Israel, right? So no, about the brave soldier of the IDF. So she said, no, I can't. So why? But you said that you can write about any topic, every subject. I'm a pro-Palestinian. You're pro-Palestinian, that's interesting. Yes, you are so cruel to the Palestinians. You kill them, you murder them. So now can I ask you just one question? Can you show me in the map where Israel is? I think someone somewhere in Asia, she said, next to India, said, listen, you have such a strong opinion about Israel and you don't know even where Israel exists. You are very good with words for writing poems, but you are very bad in understanding the meaning of the words. You just have an opinion, but you don't understand nothing about this conflict. And I tell you, one of the biggest problems is we don't really understand, we don't know even to explain to others. When I'm explaining, even in the media, listen, there is a border from between Egypt to Gaza. No way. What do you mean, no way? There is a border. And they're Egyptian, not letting them don't give them no support, no aid, no medicine, no nothing. Vice versa, it doesn't encourage them to go to fight. But we don't have all of these details. So just put in this website, it's not cost money, so you have the details to share with others. That's it. To the end. Now, and I will finish. We are in our eyes to the north of Israel, because as you know, the Hezbollah, just the first experience with terror. We have a work to do in Khan Yunis, bring our hostages back home, demilitarize the abilities of the Hamas, destroy the governmental abilities of the Hamas, but the Hezbollah is waiting. The Hezbollah is just an arm of the Iranians. It's not just standing by itself, same as the Houthi. 1 week ago, I gave an interview for the Fox News TV, and they asked me, what is your message for the American people here regarding to that you are the operation officer in Gaza? And I said, it's very simple. You're next. You're next. When they fight against Israel, for them, we're representing the Western world. Right now, maybe they don't have all of the abilities to come and to attack the United States, but you remember 9/11? When the Iranians will have nuclear weapon, nobody can stop them. Kim Jong-il is a kid next to this crazy guy. That's the truth. I mean, if they burn the flag of Israel and next to that they burn it from the United States, tell you, I did that. I forgot your name, sorry. Dennis. You asked me the way, what was the reason for October 7th? There are many reasons. One of them is that we thought that the agenda of the Hamas, this is just an agenda. Just put it on the wall. This is not a plan, operational plan. We don't want to listen to our enemies. Our enemy, the Hamas, said it loud and clear. We want to kill every Jew, every warrior in the world, behind, even if he's hiding behind every tree and every rock. You can see that in Wikipedia. You put it in the Wikipedia, he's not even hiding it. But we don't want to believe it. We say this is just an agenda. It's just an agenda. Second mistake, we judged their culture from the eye of our culture. We always thought that they want the same thing like us. Normal life. Fly with spirit to the United States and to enjoy life. Not with spirit. They will sue me after this. They just want a normal life. But not. It's not like that. Even when the United States went in Afghanistan and went in Iraq, they were sure that they wanted democracy. Because democracy is the top. And they don't want democracy. We try to force them to get a democracy. But this is another culture. If I was sending you to Africa to see one of the tribes, would you tell them, what, you're not using democracy? This is the tops. You will look at you and say, what are you talking about? It's the same, it's another culture. You know what I want to share with you? A short, crazy story. There is a woman, her name is Wafa Samir Bas, 21 years old, from Gaza. One day, the gas system in her house blew up. her leg was broken, and her entire body, 90% of her body, burned. So she asked from Israel, of course, she didn't went to Egypt. She asked from Israel to get medical help. So we let her get in. And she made 20 surgeries of skin transplant. By the way, Yahya Sinwar, the leader of the Hamas, had a cancer in his head. He asked for help from Israel. We let them in. We made an operation and saved his life. She went back to Gaza. One day she needed to get to do one more check. So when she tried to cross the checkpoint started to beep. So we asked her from the microphone, said, take out your coat, Trina saw nothing, and then she tried to push something and to blow up herself. But it didn't work. So he catch her, we investigate. It's all in the YouTube, you can see it in English. Everything that I'm just telling you, in real time. Took her to investigation and asked her, where exactly did you want to blow up herself? She said, in the hospital. Where exactly in the hospital? In the same apartment when they give the treatment. What? Oh, maybe the doctor were not so good to you? No, they were perfect, amazing people. Maybe the nurse? No, the nurse is so gentle. So why? Because my dream is to be a shaheed. My dream is to be a suicide, to kill Jewish. That's my dream. That's how I was educated. Even when I got into Gaza, all of the notebook and the book I read Arabic, everything is about from UNRWA, UN group, books of the UNRWA, how miserable are your life, occupy the Jewish and the Jewish for the grade 4, books of grade 4. That's how they educated. That's their culture. So this is the reality, and we will preparing to the north, preparing to Lebanon. I can't tell you when, but soon we will not wait at this time. The Hezbollah will be the first one to attack us. We'll make sure that the people that live in the north will live in safe, and those Hezbollah will not stay in the south of Lebanon anymore. And that's it. Thank you.